Welcome to the Vibrant Visibility Podcast. Being visible as a soul-led business owner isn't just about the practical strategies, marketing tips, and tech systems. It's also about the internal systems, the safety of your nervous system, the somatic connection, and the embodiment of being a badass CEO that will support you in all of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. And I'm here to share all of that with you on this show. I'm your host, Shawnee Arsenault, a registered nurse turned visibility coach and business mentor for heart-centered coaches and healers. I created a six-figure coaching practice in my first year of business and scaled to multiple six figures my second year, all in the middle of getting pregnant with my first baby and becoming a new mama. If I can do this entrepreneurship thing, I know you can too. If you're ready to learn how to be a CEO in a way that feels aligned with your heart, become a lighthouse for the people that you're meant to serve, feel free to authentically express yourself and be a magnet for success, and grow your coaching business in a way that is sustainable and fulfilling, I can't wait to be in your ear along for the ride. Hello, guys. Okay, I'm kind of giggling at myself for this topic that I'm bringing to you guys today, because I do think, one, it's something that everybody experiences. And I've experienced this so much in my life, not just in my business, but in my life too. And I'm actively experiencing it right now as I'm in the middle of this launch for my new course, Main Character Marketing Lab. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I want you guys to think about a time where, not even just in business, but maybe just any time in your life where you felt like you were being annoying, and like how that actually felt in your body. What were the thoughts that were swirling around? Like, if you're annoying to people, what does that actually mean about you? And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is that thing that's been holding so many coaches and healers and business owners and creatives back, is being afraid of being too much, right? Too loud, too intense, too enthusiastic, too, insert personality trait. Right? So this isn't just going to be a pep talk for you guys. I'm actually going to be actively giving myself a pep talk here as well, because again, I was just coached about this by my mentor the other day, of like, yeah, I have this fear of being annoying. Like, there are certain levels of annoying that you have to be okay with as you grow your business and as you grow your audience, as you get in front of more people, as you create different levels of success. So this is really just reframing your entire relationship with how you take up space. Because I do genuinely believe, and I've told so many of my clients this, I do genuinely believe that your growth as a business owner, as a coach, is directly tied to your tolerance for being annoying. I feel like I've been called annoying more times than I can count. And the more I've grown in my business, the more I've realized that it's not a flaw. It's actually something that can be fuel, but it's not like one of those things where you have to just like get over it, because that fear of being annoying is rooted in something a lot deeper. It's rooted in that fear of not being accepted, not being enough, not being heard, not being seen, being misunderstood. Like, it's deeper than all of that. So it's not like I can just sit here and tell you like you're going to have to get over being annoying to other people. Like, we can find a way to honor that. We can find a way to sit with those really uncomfortable feelings of being annoying and still show up consistently, still share your message, still post your content, still be yourself in the midst of all of that. Like, you can have both. You can be really uncomfortable with the thought of being annoying to people, and you can still share your message and share about your offers and share about your work, so that the right people who don't think you're annoying have a better chance of finding you. So if you have been one of those people that is kind of muting yourself online, or hiding, or not really saying what you mean, or saying the things that you want to say because you don't want to push buttons, you don't want to offend people, you're doubting the content that you make, or you're like worried about being too much or posting too much content, people seeing you pop up over and over and over again and being like, oh, this bitch again, This is for you. This episode is for you. I kind of want to share a little origin story here before I dig into anything else. And it's kind of the origin story that I think about whenever I am reflecting on this concept of being annoying. One of my best friends in high school later on told me that she literally couldn't stand me whenever we met. She thought I was obnoxious. She thought I was too eager, too much, too talkative, too loud. I was always laughing at weird shit. I was always interrupting. I was disruptive. And then of course she got to know me. And, I think I sat in front of her in free enterprise class, after after we started to get to know each other. I think I had already been friends with her sister at the time. And then we became pretty inseparable after that. Like we became best friends. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding. Like after a couple of years of being friends, I remember her saying, like, yeah, I thought you were so annoying whenever we first met. And I like did not want to be friends with you. And it is so interesting because, like, at the time, if she would have told me that she found me annoying at the time, I would have been so hurt by it. But because it was after the fact, after we had become friends and got to know each other, I kind of laughed at it. And I was like, I get it. I get that. Because I am kind of loud and I do laugh really loud. And I laugh at the stupidest things. And I'm very outgoing and bubbly. Like, I totally get how that can be annoying. And this plays out, like this scenario plays out every single day in your business, in your marketing, as you're showing up on social media, as you're showing up in person at networking events, right? Like people judge what they don't understand, what they don't know naturally. So if you go into every interaction, every piece of content that you post, knowing that somebody is going to judge you, it becomes easier to accept the fact that people might think you're annoying because that's just like a general standard of like everybody. When you think about the things that you judge, you pull up social media and you see someone who you don't know their life story, you don't know their background, you don't know what's going on in their life, in their business, and yet you see this tiny little snapshot of them. Your mind is immediately making judgments about them based off of your own perception of their journey and how it relates to your personal experiences, right? So your judgments on them don't actually mean anything about them. It's directly reflecting what's inside of you. So, like I said, people judge what they don't understand. And if you keep deluding yourself and watering down your message and trying to sound too generic and all inclusive with your audience to not turn away people, to not turn people off, just so you can avoid judgment or just so you can avoid seeming annoying or pushing buttons, your actual people will never get the chance to understand you in the first place because you've already got so many walls up, you've already got so many barriers that have to be broken down in order for people to actually see the real you. So I have a reflection question that I want you guys to sit with here for a moment. And maybe this is a good one to take out your journal and kind of write about a little bit. But who are you not giving the chance to love you because you're afraid of annoying the wrong people? Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Who are you not giving the chance to love you because you're afraid of annoying the wrong people that it doesn't even matter for, right? And while the fear of being annoying is a huge thing inside of business, there's also a lot of life implications to this fear as well, right? There's so many, honestly, probably more so it shows up in your life than it does in your business. And so I want to talk about this, like, not just the fear of being annoying, but the fear of being too much, because that's essentially what that fear of annoying is rooted in, is being too much. And I don't just think about times in my business. Like, obviously, I can think of several examples where I feel like I'm too much in my business. I post too much content. I laugh too much. I curse too much. I say like and way too much. I cry too much. I cry in so many of my sessions where I'm being coached. I cry in a lot of my client sessions with my clients whenever they're sharing something really vulnerable or emotional with me. I can think of several things where I could be too much in my business, but it's also really powerful to reflect on where you feel like you're too much in your life as well. I'll give an example. There was a time when there's been several times where Beckham, my son, he's a toddler now, he's 2 years old, and so many instances where he has been just like melting down, and I've been very overstimulated. So he'll be having a meltdown. There'll be things going on in my life. Maybe I'm on a period. Maybe there's like a hormonal thing going on. I was also in the midst of postpartum depression that first year. So like there were several times where he would get really emotional about something, and then I would get very, very overstimulated. And there have been a handful of times where instead of keeping it all in, I would just sit there and have a breakdown in front of him. And I would sit on the floor with him crying as well, or have him on my chest and just like mid panic attack, right? Whew. And I would remember thinking to myself, like, oh, get it together. Like, you have to stay together for him. But those moments actually, like now that I look back on them, those moments really helped me be with him rather than trying to fix him or make him stop crying or whatever. Like it was, I was actually allowing myself to feel overstimulated instead of trying to hide my feelings from him, instead of trying to like keep it all together. And it's so beautiful now. I'll tell you guys, this is just one of my favorite things in the entire world. But whenever he is causing a fuss or having a tantrum and I become overstimulated by his tantrum, we stop and take deep breaths together. And it's become like a really beautiful thing that we do every single time it happens now. And it becomes this moment of like really deep connection with my toddler, who I can't really communicate very well with yet because he doesn't have that many words. He has a good bit, but it's just a beautiful way to connect with him and show him that it's okay to have like big emotions. It's okay to feel like you're being too much. So yeah, that's one example that I thought of. Another like life example of being annoying, being too much. It shows up a lot in my relationship with my husband. And it's funny because we both do this to each other, right? Like whenever we get excited about something, even if the other person has no idea what we're talking about, I still talk about the things that I'm excited about. If I get like really nerdy about a new book that I'm reading, or if I get excited about like, Apple just announced their new like iOS update that's coming later this year, and I am like full on nerding out about it because it looks so cool. I don't know. I love like little tech updates and things like that. People know me as one of the like the tech queen in my community, and so I get really really excited about things like that. I get excited about things in my business, about a launch that goes really well, or like new amazing people that I get to meet, or a podcast episode that I recorded that I'm feeling really on fire about. Like I'll talk about that to him. And so whenever I go off on my rants about all of these different things that I'm excited about, sometimes he'll like playfully tease me or whatever, or he'll giggle, or like he'll have some kind of reaction. Maybe sometimes he'll even like roll his eyes at me. But my enthusiasm, my intensity is ultimately something that he adores about me. And same thing with him. Like whenever he gets really excited about something, he's a creative writer. He's a huge football, not American football, like soccer. He's a huge football fan. Whenever he gets excited about something and I have no idea what he's talking about, it's really cool to just like sit there and listen to him get excited about something, even though I don't understand it. So yeah, I mean, I still feel that support from him, even though I am risking sounding super annoying to him because I repeat myself over and over again about things that I'm excited about. I think I also used to worry about being really annoying with my interests outside of my business. Like I am a huge reader. I love to read. I love movies. Like I love the entertainment industry. Like I am really, it's funny because I have like a hidden talent of naming actors in any movie that they're in. And then I love those types of creative media because it's not just the consumption of whatever that is. It's also like the artistry behind it. Like I love hearing the artistry behind voice actors and the way that they narrate books, or the way that they creatively use different voice inflections inside of like an animated movie or a TV show or something like that. I love the way that a writer sets up a plot and sets up conflict. I love seeing the little intricate choices that actors make in certain roles to convey a certain message, to convey a certain emotion, or an internal dialogue that character might be having. Like there's these these are the things that I think about, right? And I used to worry about talking about that kind of stuff because one, none of that stuff has anything to do with my business. And two, I used to worry about getting excited over something that not a lot of other people are excited about. And so like, why would it matter? And now those little quirks, those little things like they bring me joy. And why do I need to filter that, right? Like why do we need to put a cage around the things that light us up, that make us happy, so that we can make other people feel more comfortable, right? So I want to know, like, when is the last time that you got excited about something that seemed silly or really niche and specific, but lit you up in your body? Whenever I talk about creativity and creative writing and acting and music and theater, like my husband and I have such in-depth conversations about the artistry behind music and movie. Like we just love dissecting that kind of stuff. And whenever I'm having those conversations with him or with anyone, I feel so excited. Like my body feels like electric. It's really fun. And so, what might seem annoying to other people might be something that also sparks another person's excitement, or maybe gives them permission to be excited about their thing, you know? So, I do want to talk a little bit about why being annoying or putting yourself out there and potentially being annoying to other people, why it feels so risky, right? Like if being more visible makes you kind of like want to crawl out of your skin, it's not because you're not cut out for this. It's not because you're bad at being an entrepreneur, at being a business owner. It's because your nervous system is doing its job. And I try not to overuse this, but it really is exactly what happens physiologically whenever you are afraid to put yourself out there and afraid to be yourself. Your nervous system is doing its job, right? Like being more visible online or in your business is kind of like I'm trying to think of an analogy for this. It's kind of like walking into the cafeteria on the first day of school, like of high school, and hoping someone invites you to sit down with them, right? Like, can you imagine, like, if you can bring yourself back to that time in your life in high school where you were walking into your lunch hour on the first day and hoping someone invites you to sit down, right? That fear isn't irrational at all, okay? It's ancient. It's programmed from so many instances in your past where you didn't feel like you were good enough, where you didn't feel like you were accepted or wanted or loved, right? And so I want you to pause here and just notice whenever you think about being annoying or being too much, how does that actually feel? Like what sensations arise in your body whenever I'm connecting to that fear? Ooh, I get like a little tingling in my throat and like even in my shoulders here. Like I can feel it in my body whenever I think about how that fear of being annoying actually shows up. And it makes me want to hide. It makes me want to pull back. When you imagine being louder or more visible, like what kind of reaction does your body give you? That's a really good indicator of where your work lies in terms of visibility, in terms of being more comfortable with stepping into the spotlight more and more as you grow your business. There are a lot of times where I share content and I feel really activated before I share it because maybe it's a spicy take on something. Maybe it is showing a personality trait that I feel a little bit self-conscious about. Maybe I'm cursing a lot in it and I'm afraid of what my family is going to think, right? And so again, I have a very avoidant attachment style. And so my response usually to things like that is I try to hide. So I don't go to post it. I actually posted a reel yesterday where I was talking about like the language that people use in their marketing and like more vivid ways to say certain things. And I don't know, for some reason, like I've shared that same message over and over again, but for some reason, the way that I said it this time, like I was doing a rant about it in my car and I had cut the video to kind of be like a little like minute and a half reel. And for some reason, like I don't usually do a lot of content like that. And it took me a while to like convince myself to post it, right? Because I think it was because of like the confidence that I had inside of that video. And there was a part of my brain like, you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't achieved X, Y, and Z in your business. So what gives you the right to teach people this? You see how our brain goes down this spiral. So I just want to invite you guys to take note of how your body is responding to being more visible, to that thought of being annoying. And like, even as I say that, I can feel that reaction in my body. And whenever I challenge my clients on that, like, what's your tolerance for being annoying, right? You've posted about your offer once or twice. What's your tolerance for being annoying if you post about it 6 times? And there will be this clear block that people have. And also, like, permission to acknowledge the fact that it's way too uncomfortable to be annoying to people, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all. I think the importance here is just being aware that that fear of being annoying is there. And so how can we slowly start to work with that? Like, I'm not asking you guys to bust through that block right now and start being visible and posting every single day, sharing all these spicy opinions. Like, do what feels comfortable for you. Do what feels safe for you. This is, I think, the real reason why your content likely isn't landing. Like, people say consistency is the key, but I think that honesty is the actual magnet. Honesty and authenticity, people love that. People are attracted to that because in a world where everything feels so fake and so fabricated and everything's generated by AI, people crave real human connection. And so you can be consistent over and over and over again with a fake ass message, okay? And it's not going to land nearly as powerfully as maybe something that is less consistent, but is honest and real and true. There have been several times where I have posted about where I'm at in my life, where I'm at in my business, and it's really vulnerable, it's really raw. I'm a little afraid to share it. Sometimes I sit there and I think to myself, like, okay, this is too much information. People don't need to know about this. But it always performs really well because it is energetically coming from a place of honesty and truth. And that is so different than trying to fabricate this message that you want people to see, right? Like I wonder if like the real reason that your content might not be converting isn't because you're not strategic enough, but like what if it's because your people can't find you under all of the filters that you put on yourself? It is very easy to follow like a step-by-step strategy from some marketing guru online. And it like you can get results from that. But I think if you're wanting to attract the right people, a lot of people that I work with are heart-centered folks who really want the work that they do to be connected to their like higher purpose in life. And it's not even so much a success thing or a money-making thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's like, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. This is the work that I am meant to do on a soul level, on a cosmic level. And that work can't reach the people that it needs to reach if you're constantly filtering it, right? Every time you share something vulnerable or something really raw and it performs really well, I want you to ask yourself, like, why did you hesitate posting it? For me, like whenever I hesitate posting that, it feels very vulnerable, right? It feels very scary. It feels like I'm exposing a lot of myself to people and I am opening myself up for criticism and for judgment and for hate. But when I think about the actual response that I get, I always get the thank you for saying this, or I thought I was the only one. What it teaches me about people is we are all a lot more alike than we think we are. And so whenever we can share from that really genuine, authentic place, whenever we can share from our lived experiences and what is true for us, we give other people that permission to do the same thing. We model that for our clients, for our future clients. In my line of work, being your authentic self is a huge goal for a lot of people. Not feeling like they have to filter themselves to make other people happy or to not step on toes. And so in order to do that, in order to help your clients, your potential clients feel like they can really be themselves, like you have to feel that too. You have to feel that first. You have to go first. Now, I'm going to do another podcast on this particular topic, but I do want to talk a little bit about energetic endurance because it's a concept that came up in one of my sessions with my clients. And the concept of energetic endurance, meaning how do you continue to stay visible and be yourself and not filter yourself, even whenever it's uncomfortable and even whenever you don't have a lot of energy for it, right? So it's not like energetic endurance doesn't equal like hustling, right? It's not that kind of energy. What it means is just building the capacity to be seen again and again and again, even when it feels awkward, even if it feels like you're posting to the void and nobody's seeing your shit, right? Even when people don't respond, even when you don't get any engagement, right? If you think about like working out and doing like a lift session after a long break, the first few sessions, the first few workouts suck ass. Okay, they suck, but your body does remember. Your body remembers, it strengthens. And so visibility and putting yourself out there more is the same way, right? It's like that first time that I ever went live on Facebook or Instagram, I basically almost had a panic attack. Like you would think that I had just been like held at gunpoint or something. Like my heart was racing, I was sweating, my ears were hot. I mean, I can just remember how nerve-wracking that was for me the first time I went live. And the work there for me wasn't to go live and have this amazing engagement and have this like novel topic that I talk about that is groundbreaking for people to listen. That's not it. It's about doing the reps to go live and to not freak the fuck out every time I press live. I had to have energetic endurance to continue to press that go live button, even though it was nerve wracking. And the more I did that, the less scary it became. And that's what energetic endurance does for you. It makes the thing that feels really scary way less scary so you can continue to do it and bypass all of that energy that it drains from you at the very beginning, right? So I guess the main message here is to not quit too early. Don't quit too early. If you have 200 followers on Instagram and you post something and it doesn't get any engagement, of course it doesn't get any engagement. It's one post and you only have 200 followers. Like, don't quit too early and don't assume that silence equals rejection, because we all know that people watch our stuff, people read our stuff and don't engage. Do it all the time. All right, so what is your tolerance for being annoying? Yeah, it's so funny because I was being coached by my mentor the other day, and there are certain levels of annoying that I am totally okay with now in my business, right? I am totally okay with certain levels of annoying. I'm okay with, reaching out to people and DMing people and people thinking that I might be annoying. But now that I'm in this phase of my business where I am scaling and I'm adding in income streams and things like that, there's a whole next level of annoying that I'm really having to grapple with. And I wrote an email about this very topic in part of my launch plan for Main Character Marketing Lab, which I'll talk about in just a second. But I wrote the email, and literally the next day after I wrote it, I started feeling all of the same feelings that I wrote inside of this email. I started thinking like, oh my gosh, am I sending too many emails? Am I posting about this too much? Like, I've batched a lot of content for this and I am consistently showing up for this launch. And so my brain automatically goes to like, oh my gosh, am I showing up too much? Like, am I just like flooding people's feed with shit? Like, this is too much. This is too much visibility. And my mentor was like, listen, this is exactly what you are teaching inside of your course. So, of course, it makes sense that you're going through all of these feelings, like you're going through all of this so that you can help support people in getting to that first level of visibility that you've already mastered. And so I was like, okay, that does make it feel a little bit better. And this is still fucking uncomfortable. But I'm really embracing the fact that I am struggling with this right now, because it's also a nice encouragement for all of you that there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a next level of annoying that you have to be okay with. And no level of success exempts you from that. Like, you do have to do your inner work around that fear of being annoying, being too much. And so if this hit home for you, I just opened the doors for enrollment to my new 6-week course, Main Character Marketing Lab. This course is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not. It's really about owning the fact that you deserve to be in the room. Okay. Right. I have clients that I've worked with in the past who have showed their face on video for the first time online, who have finally launched the podcast, who have, posted their first unfiltered story about something that they've always been afraid to share about and got massive engagement from it. Right. Like, being magnetic doesn't mean you have to be perfect and polished and perfectly filtered and whatnot. You just have to be known. You have to give people the opportunity to understand who you are as a human being, to understand your heart, to see, to get to know you, right? So the things that you're enthusiastic about, be enthusiastic about them. The things that light you up, that really excite you, that you get nerdy about, even if it doesn't have anything to do with your business, that's part of who you are. When you're building a personal brand, you want people to know who you are. You want people to know that you are an emotional human being, that you cry at certain commercials, that you have this weird quirk that you might think is weird, but maybe somebody else has that quirk too and they thought they were weird. And so your audience needs you to risk being misunderstood long enough to finally be recognized, to finally allow them to find you. Now, I would love to have you guys in Main Character Marketing Lab. It's a 6-week course, and this is a course that we're going to be taking a lot of action with, okay? If that fear of being annoying is really present for you, this course is going to kind of help you really bust through that fear, because we are going to be pretty damn annoying to our audiences in this course. There's a lot of action taking, there's a lot of visibility challenges here, and I am super excited about having this space for you guys, because it's something that a lot of my clients have really been asking for. And I notice patterns in the sessions that I'm having with my clients. And that's how this course was born. It was born out of necessity, born out of a gap in the offers that I currently have that I'm now filling, because I'm seeing the need for it. I'm seeing the need for really honing in on the language that you're using in your marketing and the reps that you're putting in, showing up online and talking about your business. So Main Character Marketing Lab starts on June 23rd. That's when the course opens, but the doors are open now to enroll. And yes, I'm talking about this course for the bajillionth time because I'm obsessed with it and I'm super excited about it. And it came together so fluidly. It was very similar to my launch from Vibrant Visibility and from my membership 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm not going to stop talking about it because I'm so excited about it. And if that makes me annoying, then we're probably doing this right. Okay. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and I hope to see you inside the course. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If this was helpful for you, subscribe to the show to make sure you're always in the loop when a new episode is out. And I would love to invite you to join me in the free Visibility and Tech Support for Coaches community, where we hang out and chat about all things visibility, tech, systems, and heart-centered business building. I regularly share tips and tutorials and go live every now and then, and it's just nice to be in a community with other like-minded coaches and healers. So you can join this free space at alignwellco.com/community, and I can't wait to see you there.